So let's rewind back to episode 100 and monetize this. Scott, the alien Scott McKinnon, was typing crazy type shit in the chat, demanding he be put on the show and flipping out on monetize this 100, and then I flipped out on him in this rant video.
Big fan of him.
Sean, are you drinking a Miller in that photo? Is the bear drinking a Miller?
Cool, like Japanese songs.
Mill Street, actually.
How does that shit taste, bro?
Mill Street, actually.
Buy a fucking golden shoe and then plate my name on it. I'm not supposed to sit here and make the whole show about you. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, bro. Scott, I can't see your fucking messages, Scott. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, but I can't see your fucking messages, dude.
What are you talking about? You can't see my messages, bro.
Dude, I get 100 fucking messages a second on Skype. There's a million messages. I fucking can't read everyone's message. I'm doing a show. I'm doing a show. I'm fucking monitoring a Twitter, a show. What?
Listen to me. For the fuck's sake. Listen to me.
So that was the night that I flipped out on Scott. I wanted to ban Scott. I never wanted him to come back again based off of what he said, and he was acting crazy, and he got crazier as the night went on. But then Ken made a funny song about him, so then he kind of came back in the community. Anyway, he's been in and out of the community, and by the way, Scott has fucked with me more than anybody else, right? So all week, Ken was calling Bailey's show, making fun of Scott, calling as Scott, and they were doing all these bits. And in fact, Justin Bailey had spoken to Scott privately, apparently, and they've aired their problems. And then last night, or the night before, rather, Scott was actually on Ken's show for a long time with people like Shell and Mello listening. The people that apparently had a problem that Scott was on my show last night. Except for when Scott was on Ken's show last night, they didn't have a problem with it. It seemed to be okay. Ken grilled him and exposed him and then said, hey, it's all good, let's go, we're all good here. The same way I did last night. The difference is at the end of Ken's show, everybody was laughing and it was such a fun time. But in the middle of my show, all of a sudden, even though I grilled Scott and exposed him, even though I didn't want to, because I did want him banned, but again, if he's going to pop up on everyone else's shows, I'm going to put him on my show too. Because they've been making fun of him all week. He went on Ken's show yesterday, and now I have some questions for him too, based on what he said to Ken the other day, because I wasn't on the show with him when he was on there. But here's what happened on that show yesterday.
You hate my guts for whatever fucking reason, but the bottom line is you came back in and you apologized to us live on air. You fucking came back in. You greeted with open arms like nothing ever happened.
Now, on top of this whole thing, remember, they've even made a superhero picture after Scott. They've even made a symbol for Scott on Ken's even had a symbol made for the guy, the MK Ultra guy, which no one had a problem with. So once again, everybody was fine until he was on my show for some reason, while I grilled him and made him look like a fool, actually, to be honest.
Number one. Yep. Number two, you started talking shit. You and whoever else, and I'm not debating whether somebody else did or not. I'm just talking about you. You started saying that me and Joe still didn't trust you. We still didn't bury the hatchet. We still didn't let things go when we really did, because me and Joe did not have one negative conversation about you, not once. Not once. So you could sit there and think that me and Joe are talking shit about you behind your back because we still hold a grudge, but the fact of the matter is we never held a grudge. It was gone. It was over. You're the one who was fucking paranoid and started bringing it up to people, and then it became a fucking problem.
Yeah, it must be the MK Ultra, man.
I don't know what.
So here's Ken grilling him the same way I grilled him last night. The only difference is people didn't say, I'm leaving this show, and I'm going to call in and get angry now. That's the only difference. Same people were listening to this show that listen to my show.
It is. I don't know what it is, but it's fucking sad because you know what? I do think you're a talented guy, and I do think that you had a big spot in this community and could have been great, and we all could have got along, but you fucking squandered it.
I didn't squander shit, Ken.
Okay, Scott, you didn't. Right, Scott. Whatever you say, man. Whatever you say. I'm a father of 2 kids. I bust my ass. I go to work 48 hours a fucking week.
And this is like, you know, this is the same type of thing that I just did to him last night. I exposed him for saying that I was brainwashing people and whatever he said.
Go to the week, right? It's not rocket science. I come on.
Oh, shit. My bad.
where I interact with people and I laugh and I play music and I goof
Ken,
off.
I'm not fucking hating on you for what you do, bro. I still respect what you do. I subscribe to your
Regardless,
channel.
you're hating on Ken, not
There's
Ken,
nothing-
foul mouth
I don't support
Ken.
any of your guys' shit.
Your problem
It's
is
not
with
me,
Ken.
Not what the fuck I do. That's not the issue at hand here.
What's the issue? You want to be told? What do you want to hear? You want to hear that?
The issue is I want the fucking realness to come forth.
Dude, there is realness. You just can't see it. You just don't see it. You look past.
So this went on literally yesterday, the day before Monetize This. This went on yesterday. Everybody was there. People, I think even Shell was on the call at one point during this call, or she was on the call. You know, Mello's here, Shell's here, and a couple of the other people are here.
There's realness on this show. I'm not a demographic. That was a fucking one person.
That's not the karma I want in my life, man. That's not.
People that and the things that I behind your back because we. feel like
That young Republican saying where the fuck I work in real life.
Scott, let me tell you something, bro.
You fucking want to draw the line somewhere? You fucking message me with a lot of people, man. You message me first.
Mr. Kal-El Barron.
And you know, and I mean everybody's on the phone. So then now today I have to deal with some of the same people who yesterday on this show were laughing and like, oh, he's crazy and good job burying him. The same people that said that to Ken are freaking out on my show that he needs to be banned and go away. Well, I already know that because I'm the one who originally, before anybody, said we should ban him. So it makes no goddamn sense. And then I got to listen to Jake DeMarco cut this retarded-ass thing.
To what content we're making. No, that wasn't the point. It wasn't. I can understand where Justin's saying that, but that's not the point. Scott has maliciously caused so many problems intentionally over the past what?
No shit, and he's done it to me more than anybody else. He's gone to people and made up lies about me to try to break my friends up with me. I know this. That's the reason why I wanted him banned, but nobody would listen to me. And that's fine because he's entertaining. You know, Ken did nothing wrong, Bailey did nothing wrong, and I did nothing wrong. The only people that are doing things wrong are a few people who are clearly just, for some reason, have some weird double standard with the shows.
6-7 months, if not longer.
By the way, I found out after Jake recorded this that the fucker didn't even listen to Ken's show the other day and even know that Scott was on his show for 30 minutes. Let me just match everything up for you. Scott goes on Ken's show for 30 minutes. They grill Scott, laugh about it. Show ends, everyone's laughing, it's a good time. Scott comes on my show for about the same amount of time, a little bit longer on my show. I grill him, we expose him, everyone's laughing about it. Except then people call and are raging that they can't believe that he's on the phone. They literally had the opposite reaction that they had the day before. I call bullshit. I call fake. I call victim crying. All these people get more tweets on Twitter than I get anymore. They've all built this old little community on their own. That's what's gone on. Now let's continue listening to what Jake has to say, even though he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Around, 41 episodes ago of Monetize This, he's caused so many problems. He's said so many vile, nasty, hate-filled things. He's threatened people, and that's a fact.
He's threatened nobody more than he's threatened me, by the way.
I'm not talking about, pedophile comments. I'm not talking about the babies.
I've never heard his pedophile comments. I've never heard baby comments. I don't know what anyone's talking about with pedophile comments. There's only been 2 people that have ever done that, and we know who they are. If he's done that, then I don't know about it, and why didn't Ken bring it up the other night? So from what I understand, that didn't happen. And that's what Bailey said. It didn't happen. Justin Bailey said it didn't happen. Ken said it didn't happen. And I don't think I've ever heard them.
Talking about any of that. I'm talking actual facts. He's caused problems. He's done nothing but troll the audience and maliciously set out to attack everyone.
I agree. He has. He set out to attack everyone by manipulating our listeners, our subscribers, and everybody. But the fact of the matter is, Ken still had him on his show. Justin Bailey still had Ken call as him as a bit on his show. And then I had him on my show. But I was the only one that was in the wrong. And then when someone says to me that I'm supposed to hold my show at a higher standard than Ken's or somebody else, what? You're listening to both shows.
So Joe feels long-winded and upset because, you know, Justin has him on, Ken has him on, but Joe gets attacked when he's on. But Joe, you're the leader of this community. Everyone looks to you. So is
No, they don't, because when I tell people to ban people, they don't fucking do it. And by the way, I'm not throwing Ken under the bus or Bailey under the bus. I absolutely love Ken and Bailey in this whole situation. This is basically us against retardedness right now. But the fact of the matter is, I wanted to ban Tommy. Other people brought Tommy back. Other people have brought Scott back. So how am I supposed to lead when no one's going to follow that lead anyway? So if you can't beat them, join them. And the fact of the matter is, they ragged on Scott all week on JB's show, and then Ken ragged on him last night, and then I had all these new questions for him, and I had him on my show. You're telling me I can't have him on my show? We're in the fucking business of this shit. There's a clear double standard here, and it's stupid as shit.
it fair for you to take that role? No. Is it a burden you asked for? No, but that's what it is. Everyone looks up to you.
Yeah, and most people looked up and loved the show. Most people were in the chat liking what was going on. It was a very tiny percentage of people that were apparently unhappy for some dumb reason. And now there's all these other morons jumping on board too, like, you're right, when they didn't have a problem last night. I hate the word the community. I have a show and I do it, and that's the fucking deal.
They look to you to guide them. They look to you, and you have people like myself, Shell.
They look to me to guide me. What are you talking about?
Hello.
I've already told you, the guy's a psycho. He's been no more of a psycho. He's been no bigger psycho to me than anybody else. He's been a psycho to me. He's telling all these people that I do all these things that I don't do, and then telling me other people are saying things. He's a clearly shit-stirring, manipulated person. There's nothing that we don't know that you can tell me that I don't know about this guy, that we haven't said on the air to tell everybody about. Everybody knows who he is and what he is. He is who he thought he was.
And the list goes on. That defend you to the nth degree. Defend all of us, Justin, Ken, no matter what. And you can't help but feel kicked down and assaulted when you have somebody on that's saying vile, nasty things about your kids, about your wife.
All right, why are you feeling kicked in the stomach if he was on Ken's show the other night and nobody had a problem with it? Nobody called Ken to tell him they felt kicked in the stomach last night. But on Monetize This, you're telling me now, for some reason now they feel kicked in the stomach? What are you talking about? What kind of fuck-ass double standard is this?
About your fans, about your friends. I understand you were...
These are not my listeners you're describing, by the way. My listeners are not puss bags. So I don't know who you're describing right now, because my listeners aren't pussies. Most of the people in the chat last night liked the show and liked what was going on, and they get that Scott's a psycho, and it's entertaining. That's why Ken had him on, and that's why I decided to have him on too. Okay? So if you feel kicked in the stomach that I had him on, why didn't you feel kicked in the stomach yesterday when Ken had him on for 30 minutes? Basically grilling him the same way I did and proving him wrong, but in a different way. I proved him wrong on different points. Ken proved him wrong on other points. JB made fun of him all week and everyone had a great laugh. Where is the kick in the stomach yesterday? Why is it just on my show that there's a kick in the stomach? These are not my listeners. Whatever group of people you're describing as these victimhood fucking pussbags who, oh my God, Scott said something about me. Dude, who's the guy in Ken's chat? New Saint or whatever? I called up the other night because the guy was talking crazy shit. So I cut a promo on him on Ken's show and I went off trying to like be crazy and like give a boost to the show and make everyone talk about, oh my God, what was that about? I blocked the guy for a second and then I unblocked him. Because I don't want him blocked. He was talking crazy shit about me, but I still don't want him blocked. Do you know why? Because I'm not a bitch.
Trying to get to the bottom of it, but just block him and move on. I know if I said and was serious about it.
Yeah, I'll just block him and move on, except that Justin Bailey will do promos with him all week, and Ken will then have him on his show, and then we'll make a song called the Cake Stalker song and everything. Yeah, but I'll just block him and move on, and everyone will talk about him, and he'll call and everything else. Come on. Come on. I said I would do this with Tommy, and nobody could stick to it. Okay? So if you're really serious and you want to like get a petition out there and have Ken and Bailey follow it too, and you want to do that, hey, maybe we can make that happen. But until then, this is my goddamn show, and most people thought it was funny, and most people thought it was funny last night too, except for a few people who for some reason changed their opinion depending on what show he's on.
Even a third of what he had said, I would have been fucking banished from the show.
Well, you might be banished now because I'm pretty goddamn pissed off. See you tonight for Corrupted. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show for the full episode of Corrupted. There'll be a post show. There may be a pre-show. I think we're going to do a post show over on Patreon. We promised a free episode. So tonight, there will be a free episode of Corrupted Podcast live from the YouTube channel that is the Corrupted YouTube channel. And then we will have a post show that's a bonus part of the show for the patrons to be able to listen to. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Myself, Ken, and Bailey. And trust me, this show is going to be about something totally different. But now tonight, it's going to be about this. And you fucking, if you want to thank everybody, go ahead. But I didn't cause this. There's a few people that did, but it wasn't me. And I hate double standards. I hate double standards. I hate the fact that somebody last night was laughing at this guy on someone else's show, do the same thing, and then come on my show and demand that he be off or cry about him being on. Where was the crying last night? There was none. Somebody's a fake fuck, and I'm going to find out. See you tonight at 11. Oh, sorry. See you tonight at 1 in the morning, which is technically Sunday, but, 12:59 tonight on Saturday if you want to be early. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. Tonight, Corrupted Podcast. Oh, yeah. It's going to be fire. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. Fuck, I should have said Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Fuck. Damn it.